Yeah, good shape. Yeah, so it's a bit of a sharp practice.
Got that inside and back.
Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. In this video I went to the Bristol Toy Show at the BAWA Club. This is based in North Bristol, put on by Felix fairs, and this was our first time doing this fair. Now I have been to this show before as a buyer, and sometimes it can be hit and miss. This is the first time we've gone as sellers and actually gone for myself to buy some stock as well, and it was actually kind of okay. If you're into your trains and your die-cast, you will have a fantastic show because there was loads of it. Some high quality toys there, some high quality vintage trains and vintage die-cast stuff. It was really cool. There was some really top end corgi toys there that I loved, and I love seeing all the old miniature vehicles, the dinky toys. I just love this miniature dinky. But what I was after was, you know, your action figures, your TV and film stuff, your 70s and 80s toys was my thing I'm really after. And it was a bit of a struggle finding some stuff, but we did find some gems. My dad was able to find, well, I found it first really, but this really cool James Bond gun. This is quite an expensive toy usually. The box was a mess, the gun had corrosion on it. But it came with a silencer which is often missing, and my dad would do a bit of restoration on that box, make it look good. But what I found was there was one chap there, was actually two guys there who actually had some stuff which is pretty cool. And I'm just going to randomly show you some stuff I purchased today because there's lots of it. And I'll kind of tell you the story of how I got hold of it and you know, everything about it. So the first thing I picked up was this really strange looking Dracula, who I thought looked really cool. It's basically Action Man size, and he came with this cool Frankenstein figure as well. And I saw them, these were on Nick's stall, Toy Hunter UK. Nick is a veteran of toy shows. He's on pretty much every single show. Always has good stock. interesting stock as well. I asked him what they were, and I think he said basically these are like action men, like modern action men and modern kind of like Ken or Barbie dolls that were used as like reference for a stage show that somebody was making. And they basically, maybe it was for the costumes, to show what the costumes are going to look like. And he basically gave me the deal for £25 for the pair. And they came with like stands, action figure stands where you can put like a little name on them. I think these on their own are probably worth £6 to £7. So like half my money back into just 2 stands. But yeah, 25 quid, bit of an interesting buy. My strangest buy of the day, but I really liked them. I think they're quite cool. I don't really go for customs that much, but they just look cool. They look like they were from the 70s or 60s. So for £25 for the pair, I can't say no for that. I'll probably put them out on my stall. Eventually I might put them on display in my collection for a bit and then move them around. And in no particular order again, I found some Champions League stickers, Panini 2008 to 2009. Panini Champions League stickers, these were like your typical, how much were they, 50 cents a packet, 40 pence a packet. That shows you how old these are. Nowadays these would be like £1, 10p a packet sort of thing. Sealed. When you see sealed football card stickers, guys, there's a little bit of money in them. I paid £25 for this. I probably wouldn't have paid more, but £25 was about right. Yeah, it's one of those things where there's a job lot of these have been found recently, so it's not like it's they're super rare or anything, but it's something that potentially over the next 3 to 4 years I'll keep them sealed and maybe it might go up. This is my first buy of the day and I paid £5 for this. This is a G.I. Joe, Joe 90, Jerry Anderson's Joe 90 as Jerry Anderson as in Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet, Stingray. This is a dot-to-dot book. It's got some writing on it, which I think I can get off with an eraser. And it's got basically dot-to-dots. And some of them are relevant to Joe 90, some of them aren't. They're just really 60s. He originally wanted £7, but I got it for £5. I thought maybe this might be worth a bit more. When it comes to like activity books and things like that, there's one of these I sold, which is the Dalek one from the Dalek movies for Doctor Who, and I think I paid £2 for it last summer, and I sold it for like £130. I was going to keep it in my collection, but I needed money at the time because I was moving house. So I thought maybe this would be in the same sort of category, maybe a bit cheaper because it's a bit more popular, Joe 90, or maybe not more popular, but they probably sold more toys than the Doctor Who movies did. I don't think there's any toys related to the movies, just the TV show. But yeah, this is not worth that much, unfortunately. Probably worth 12 quid or something, £15 if I'm lucky. So double my money type thing. But I'll probably just stay in my collection for now because I love G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, what do I keep saying here? Joe 90, I love anything to do with Jerry Anderson. Joe 90, I love. Oh my God, G.I. Joe. I've got G.I. Joe on my brain. But yeah, that'll be staying with me now in my collection for a bit. This was another great buy. This was a £6, I think it was. 2 vintage Star Wars Return of the Jedi puzzles. This one does not contain the poster. I think this one does. So they're supposedly complete. There's the poster there of Luke, and look at that there, the Gamorrean guard. What's funny is when you look at these things, you'll notice it. I wonder if you can notice it on some of these puzzles. For some reason, the picture on the box, they actually like paint. There you can see it on Jabba's face here. You can see they painted this side of his like a blue colour. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's for like copyright reasons or something. But yeah, £6, £3 each for puzzles that are supposedly complete. One's missing the poster. That's always a good buy. I will need to obviously do them myself to make sure they're complete. They're not big sellers. You're talking maybe £7 or £8 each. But it's always good to have Star Wars stock. I think people like Star Wars. Then the store I bought the Joe 90 off of. I just kept going back. Got this Terrorhawks set, and he originally wanted £10. I think they're worth about £15 on eBay, so not much profit in if I was going to resell it. So I was pretty much like, maybe it's a nice thing, it's a really nice condition. Then I noticed he also had this sealed Star Wars set, Lego set 75333, which is Obi-Wan's Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. I actually kind of like that Starfighter from the is it Attack of the Clones? I had like a the actual toy itself when I was a kid, and I loved it. But I don't buy too much Lego, guys, but Lego is a really good thing. I find if you pick a set where they might not release it for a couple of years, or they might not, or say a figure like that robot, that R2 unit, R4015, what his name is, that figure there might not ever get released ever again, which means this set suddenly has a bit more of a premium. And they retire sets in Lego quite a lot, so that set there could be worth, you know, £25 probably now. In 5 years time it could be worth like 70, 80, 90, 100, 150, 200, you don't know. The bigger the set, usually the pricier it goes up by. So I paid that and that, and I think I got something else. So I've got those two things and these action figures. We have a 90s Joker from Batman the Animated Series. Had that one as a kid. Same toy again, but modern version. Bit taller. The Mandalorian with his weapon inside. This is the Batman stuff I missed out on really, but the guy had loads of sealed stuff for really cheap. I wish I got it. There's a Penguin from Batman 66. There's Batman from 66. There's the Riddler from Batman 66. And then a 8-inch Black Series Boba Fett. And then finally a 1989 Kenner Joker. He's in not bad condition actually, in all fairness. He's got a little bit of yellowing on his arm, but apart from that, he's pretty good. So that Lego set, that Terrorhawk set, and all those action figures was £30, which I think is a great deal, a very great deal, because I'm thinking like these figures, that figure there is probably worth like £2-3. He might be worth a fiver. He's got to be worth a fiver all day long. So has Boba Fett. And these are tenner each type of thing, because that'd be 30 quid right there if it was true. And then you've got this one here, which is a really cool Joker. I might keep him because he's so cool. I wanted to eat these as a kid. He's got to be worth 3 or 4 quid. So actually, I made my money back in those figures, which pays for the Terrorhawk set, and it pays for the Lego set. So, and those Lego set I'm going to keep for, yeah, maybe keep it for a year or two before I sell it. Maybe sell it at Christmas where it's going to get more money and everything. So walking around, I bought off the same people I bought the Star Wars sets. I paid £2 for this VHS tape with Doctor Who. I don't buy Doctor Who on VHS. I just buy the Blu-rays now, so you can tell how far we've come. But I'm very nostalgic for this VHS tape. Spearhead from Space, which has the Autons in it, are my favourite Doctor Who episode or story. It's the only Doctor Who story from the classic era to be filmed entirely on 16mm, which means that you can have a Blu-ray version of it in proper Blu-ray. Yeah, just so nostalgic. I find the Autons very terrifying. They're like rubber masked creatures. They're just terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So £2, that's going to stay in my collection. That's going to go on my display and just remind me of being a kid. From the same people, I then also picked up this. This is a Pokemon. Basically, it's a V-Battle deck. I have no idea about modern Pokemon. To me, it's very alien. The original Pokemon series, I know very well. But this was £5, and I thought, you know what, I see these in stores for 15 quid all day long. So is it one of those things where I just sit on it for another 5 years? And it goes from being £5 to being worth 60, 70 quid. Then I sell it. Is it worth doing that? Who knows? But for £5, I might just rip it and put it on the channel already. We've got loads more to go, guys, and then I'm going to show you the massive toy haul. I picked up the action figure haul, all 80s toys, which is really cool, and early 90s. I can't really get this on camera. This massive Doctor Who TARDIS cardboard thing. I saw this and I thought to myself, oh, it must be I thought it might be like a Easter egg from like the early 90s, 80s. But actually, if I can open it up properly, it's a classic Corgi set, which comes with a gold Dalek, which I think is from Day of the Daleks. Then you have Tom Baker in, is it Bessie? Never remember what that car's called. Bessie, I think. I think of John Pertwee when I think of that car. And you got a Cyberman, which looks very kind of like Revenge of the Cyberman. You got K9, and then we got Dabros. That was £20. They're not. It's probably not worth more than that, actually. People are asking £70–80 for it, but actually on eBay they kind of sell for £25. But maybe I can get 35 for it if I'm lucky. It's a very, very cool thing. Probably the kind of the best and worst, but the worst part of the day, actually. But still, it's a good thing. It's a good stock to have on the stalls, and it's Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who stuff. That's always good. Oh, one thing else to show. I got all these little bag of accessories, like weapons and stuff. I need to identify what they're from. Some of these I think are from like more modern Star Wars toys, kind of the big chunky ones that nobody really likes. But some of them I don't really know. I might try and see if I can do a bit of research. But with accessory bags, it came with all these figures, so the guy was like, "You have these as well." So this might be, there must be at least £10 worth of stuff in there. Now, if you go to a show and it's loads of corgis and diecast, don't be put off, guys. You're looking for action figures. Just ask the store holders if they have any. One guy basically, I was going through, he had loads of corgi stuff and loads of dinky stuff, and then I saw a box of bits, and in there was this. This is, I think, Jack Slater from The Last Action Hero. He looks alright, like his weapons seem, well, his arm seems okay where the weapon would fire out of. This was £1. So for £1, guys, you know, it's not mega money. I might be able to put it in my toy box, my figure box, and just ask maybe £3 if I'm lucky. I'll get it. But yeah, for £1 you can't say no to that. That's like car boot sale prices, right? And this is where the fun starts. So the chap opposite me was selling loads of really cool Warhammer stuff. Really kind of like, I was quite nostalgic for it because it was some really good stuff. He did have some Ghostbusters stuff on his stall, which I didn't think were overpriced. I just thought like it was slightly, it wasn't like it was overpriced at all really. It was just what you'll see now, that makes sense. What I'll show you now. So he had this for £50, and it's all the backpacks and all the figures for the first 4 Ghostbusters with their streams. Now I did ask, is any of them okay? Are some of them broken? One of them is broken, which is the yellow stream, and they're a bit, we can say they're a bit worn out and stuff. And some of the figures have got wear. Some of them are right. So £50 is probably like you used to back in the old COVID days. You get like £30 a figure, so there's money to be made there straight away. But the prices have dropped dramatically, and I can't really see the proper condition of them until I get them out properly and look. So I was like looking at it all day, thinking if I make some money, I will go and buy them. But I didn't make any money, and so I was kind of put off by it. But then when I went and looked again, I noticed this figure. Slimer with his pizza slice, and the guy, and he sealed it, which is really cool. How has he done that? This must have like a sealing machine. That's really cool. But it's basically has his pizza slice, and it was £5. I think that's not bad for £5. It's not, you know, it's. If it didn't have the slice, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. But with the slice of pizza, and I said to him, "Would you take a deal?" Because I know he had more Ghostbuster stuff. And basically, I think I paid £60 for all these Ghostbuster stuff you're going to see now. So all that there was 50. That was 5. That's 65. I got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He needs a bit of a clean, but he should be all right. That was 10. And then the Ghostbuster like popping gun thing, which with the actual original foam pieces, which are often quite missing. He also had 10 on that, so I got the whole lot for £60, which is blowing my mind because I rarely see vintage toys like this in the open. I go to car boot sales quite a lot. I'm usually the first person in each car boot sale I go to, and I just never find old Ghostbuster toys or any old toys at all. I mainly find die-cast stuff quite a lot, which is not really my thing. And you do find Lego quite a lot, I admit. I find the old comic book and everything, but I rarely find action figures, and I always want to keep buying action figures to add to my store. So for £60 for the lot, I'm probably gonna clean some of this stuff up. I might keep of it. This was his own personal collection as a kid, and I actually had all this stuff when I was a kid as well, and I loved it. I've sold a lot of my Ghostbusters stuff because of moving, having to sell my house and parts of my house and having to rent, and everything's become really expensive for me in the last past year, like it has for many other people. But I'm just thinking, I just kind of want to have a bit of my happiness back. Maybe try and get some of my collection back and build up again. So maybe I might keep some of this Ghostbusters stuff for now. And as I went back to my stall, I realised in my box of tricks, if you will, that I actually have some Ghostbuster figures already. So I'm going to compare the two to see which is the better one and make a nice little set, put it in my display cabinet. And that's when the guy smiled and his mum were laughing, because he just pulled out another box and went, oh, by the way, there's all this stuff here. And it's more 80s and 90s action figures. And I got this lot for, I think, £30. And it's a whole bag of bits. I'm going to show you now, guys. So I got this Ghostbuster figure here, which is the police officer. His arm keeps falling out here, which I think is kind of normal. But you press the back button and he pops out. He's cool. He's very cool. Then we had a Mr. T. And he's actually quite nice. Usually I find these things can be a bit like, they're a bit loose, or they're there's a lot of wear to them. But he's nice. He just needs he's just a bit dusty. But Mr. T, I think he's probably worth, what, £5 to £10? Got a turtle, which is missing his arm, so nothing much in it really. Then we got another one, missing his arm. His arm's in here somewhere, but he's missing his leg as well. And then we've got some wrestling figures. We've got Hulk Hogan here, and his chest transfer looks really good. Got his crushing arms really well, just needs a wipe over. It's been in the loft probably for like the last 25 years. Is this called Big Boss Man? I always like that character for some reason. Well, just the toy, really. Then they had my two favourite wrestling figures, the Legion of Doom. I do find these quite a lot. These are popular sellers back in the day. They usually have their fingers snapped off. All these little spokes are gone. But these are all complete, and their action works really well. You just need to wipe over with a cloth to get rid of the dust. And they're really nice. I really, really love those. Then is it $1 Million Man? Is that his name? And he does the kind of like stomping leg thing. But he's in good condition as well. And then we have finally the arm of one of the turtles. I can't remember this guy's name. I find these figures break really easily, but it's a Thundercats figure. I don't know if he's supposed to rattle like that, but his arm's supposed to go up and down, I think. But yeah, Thundercats. I find Thundercats, I find them occasionally, but I find that their mechanisms are always broke because they're probably like a cog. But these are right. Is that Mum-Ra or something? Doing a dance. And then on another stall, just randomly found this figure as well. This is the Xenomorph. Is that what it's called? A Xenomorph from Alien. The more older I get, the more I love Aliens. That was £2. So it's probably got to be worth, what, £6-7 easily. So that was £30 for these figures. Well, £32 including the Alien from another stall. I thought that was a great price, because Legion of Doom on eBay, if you're lucky, you can probably get 20 quid for the pair, so you kind of got your money back there. And then I found some more stuff on this chap's store. All these Transformers. Now, I was a bit like put off by them at first. I thought they were something else, and then I noticed they were Transformers, because I think that's Bumblebee in there. £10 for the lot. I don't know what these are, guys. My Transformer knowledge is pretty poor, but I will be looking to these and working out what they are and doing a bit of research, maybe a bit of repair. But yeah, guys, if you notice what these any of these Transformers are, if there's any in here which are worth a lot of money, I would really appreciate if you told me, but I'm going to do the research myself as well. But for £10, I'm also quite impressed that the guy's actually had this sealed. I don't know how he's done it. He must have like a sealing bag machine. That's really impressive. So thank you to him and his family who are selling. I really appreciate it. He's done a really good deal for me, and some of these toys are going to go to a really good home where they can be loved by collectors, and some of them are just going to go into my own collection. Now, I think I've got everything there, guys. That was my big pickup from the toy show. It just shows, guys, you don't have to go to the NEC or Sandown or, you know, a big show to find good stuff. Go to your local shows, support your local shows, and you'll come away with some good actual, gems. Guys, please leave a like and a comment in the actual comment section. Tell me what's your favourite toy I picked up. I think I'm actually quite impressed with the Ghostbusters stuff. I think that's quite a nice little set to find. This Animorph thing is really cool. I don't know who made this. Is it McFarlane or something? Probably needs a clean. It's got a bit of wear on the back. I wonder if I can fix that wear with a bit of paint touch up maybe. But yeah, he's got to be worth what? Must be worth a tenner, right? If anybody knows where he comes from, what set he comes from, because there's millions of aliens figures out there on the market. But I love this as well. I mean, I didn't have this as a kid. It's one of the ones I wanted, but I didn't have it. I had like the backpack. I had the Ghostbuster trap. I was lucky to have those two. Yeah, it's really cool. You basically pump it, and then these little dark things fly at the end. Very cool, guys. I love this. This is my one. Do you know what? It's a toy show where I went to as a seller, but mainly came back as a buyer, which was good. So thank you much, everybody. I'll see you on the next episode. Stay safe, and most importantly, guys, happy hunting.